Well, Michael Waltrip, you're shaking your head. Fourth on the board, but you still don't seem too happy.
Well, I mean, as a race car driver, you want to do it perfect for the guys on the team that work so hard. And
it sounded great from back here, though, your launch off the pad.
Well, it was. And when I went to second, I was so confident that I had gotten all I could out of first. When I went to second, I let my guard down a little bit, and it, with this Richie Gilmore horsepower under the hood, it just about spun me into the grass. So I had to jack around there a little bit. And, you know, you missed the pole by 3/10 so far, and I believe I lost a second or two out there goofing around. So I got a new paint job, the nail away for Napa Chevy. We'll be ready for him tomorrow night.
And that's what Slugger told you. The big money is tomorrow night.
$1 million to win tomorrow night. $50,000 to win the pole. Sterling Marlin.
And I got to tell you something, Mike. in my racing career, if somebody had said one day we'd race a race for $1 million, to a race, not a season, one race, I'd have said that'll never happen. And now it's just like commonplace.
Sterling has been second in the Winston 3 times. Qualified third in 1997.
Boy, this team has really been coming on lately. In fact, they have finally appeared in the top 10 in the Winston Cup points for the first time after Richmond all season.
Next time by, be 4 tires.
Tony Glover telling him pit next time, 4 tires.
Lee McCall.
It's his crew chief. Tony Glover, the team manager.
Glove has to talk to Sterling because nobody else can understand him. That's why you got to have a glove to interpret what's going on. Everybody looks at Ethan and says, huh?
He's coming in low and hot.
39.50.
Looks good.
Now, what that 39.50, that's the tack reading that tells Sterling they got a pit road speed earlier. They tells him it's 45 miles per hour, 39.50.
4, 3, 2, 1. In the block.
Perfect. He hit the box perfect.
He had a pretty good trap speed coming on the pit road, 93 miles per hour. That's a little slower than Dale Earnhardt Jr., but quite a bit quicker than Kevin Harvick. No speeding penalty coming in either.
And hitting that mark. So important because the tire changes on the right side are just about on their knees before the car comes to a halt. So he's got to be in position. That looked good.
Looked pretty good, Lee.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
What they're doing now is they're staying on the concrete as far as they can. And I think that's really helping their exit speed.
118 leaving, 118 miles per hour. Now that's 3 miles per hour slower than Kevin Harvick. Remember, Kevin Harvick was 121.
There's a place down there. Michael went a little too far. There's a perfect place down there to get off that concrete before you hit it, before it gets dirty.
I wonder if Harvick's been to like Eddie Hill's or Frank Hawley's school of drag racing. One of those.
Sterling's going to end up 3rd quickest, right between Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Terry Labonte. So that's the first Dodge to appear in the top 5.
Good run for the Coors Light Dodge.
We let you down a little bit, but wasn't too awful bad.
Here's Matt.
13.7 last year on pit road, 13.5 by your over-the-wall guys. And the driver stepped it up a little bit tonight, too.
Yeah, last year, pit crew carried everything we had for this Goodwrench car. But it's awesome for Snap-on and Jim Goodrich engines and Jim Goodrich and everybody involved with this car. It's a good lap for us, good couple of laps, good pit stop on pit road, off pit road. And hopefully these guys can win that 50 grand and go have a good time with it.
Steve?
With Lee McCall, Sterling Marlin's crew chief. Lee, you guys happy with that effort?
Yeah, really are. We struggled all day in qualifying trim, so we put our race setup in there, and you know, our pit stop wasn't what we were wanting, but good solid stop, and Sterling did a great job making a lap and getting on and off pit road, so we're happy with that.
Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
You know, one thing that I gotta wonder about. These are real flames. Ooh, I like it. Yes, that's what I like about racing at night. See the firefly. But one thing I'm wondering about. Steve Park goes over to Childress's. That one car has always run really, really good here in Charlotte. Take Steve Park's information, put it with Childress's information. 2 and 2 makes 5.
How about that? Rusty Wallace, who will be in the Winston for the 17th time. Twice he's won the pole for this race, and he won the race in his championship season, 1989.
There's the old Bill Wilbur and his crew chief. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm anxious to see Rusty's speed traps coming in and off, because we know, we document it quite often, he does a really good job of getting on the pit road in green flag conditions. And I'm going to tell you, you can just see Rusty juking and bouncing in his step. This is the same car that he finished third with at Fontana. Knew at Indy, finished second last year. There you hear Bill Wilbur remind him pit next time, 4 tires.
Darrell, do you want to be counted into your pit?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want the crew chief quiet and you do your job?
No. You got to be counted into your, particularly when you're all, nobody's out there. There's no signs, you know, no other teams. So you got to have somebody help you get to your box.
Here you see the Fox track. You heard Bill Wilburn tell him 4,100, and that's a little bit more RPMs than Sterling, or than Kevin Harvick. Could be a little lower gear, or maybe a little lower second gear.
Rusty Wallace is the 12th driver to qualify. Kevin Harvick right now has the pole for NASCAR's All-Star race tomorrow night, the Winston, over Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Sterling Marlin. In this unique qualifying format, there is a mid-qualifying pit stop. Rusty's crew goes to work.
And I'm going to tell you what, Rusty did his job. If he didn't speed 98 miles per hour, that would be the quickest entrance to pit road, and it was clean on his pit road speed, so that was a good entrance for Rusty.
But he really creeped into the box, Larry.
A little late on the left rear.
He creeped into the box and it messed up.
He turned off the concrete on the asphalt early. Let's watch the Fox track. Remember, we're looking for about 121 to 124. A little bit slow.
Yeah.
Now, he was a little bit slow leaving that box.
Yeah, he got out. His last few feet of getting in the box and leaving, I think, was just what really hurt him.
But he's one of the few drivers we've seen turn almost straight off the concrete onto the asphalt. He lost 3 miles per hour to Kevin Harvick leaving, but he was 17 miles per hour quicker coming on the pit road. So we'll see what the end result is. He's on the pole.
There you go. Just by a teeny weeny bit.
And I think it was that entrance that did it.
Yeah, because I wasn't that impressed with the exit, but he did it somewhere.
That or it was the Goo Goo Dolls on the hood.
They're performing around here this weekend, aren't they?
Jeff?
Well, believe it or not, even though Rusty Wallace is on the pole right now, after that pit stop, crew chief Bill Wilbur threw his stopwatch down to discuss. I mean, because the pit stop was not up to his standards, jumped down off the box, was walking toward the garage area when it was put up on the board as being the fastest car on the racetrack. And even as he walks away, he looked back over his shoulder, was still shaking his head because he knows that he gave an awful lot up on pit road.
Yeah, they were a little slow on the left rear there, but how many times have we said he's the guy getting in and out of the pits? Rusty's the man.
And I'm going to tell you what, it was close. 2/100ths of a second.
Wow. The Craftsman Truck Series race coming up after qualifying right here on Speed. Here's Matt.
And Sterling Marlin just dropped down to 4th, 13.5 on pit road. What about your race car on the track, Sterling?
Well, it was, we've been terrible all day and just threw a lot of things at it and got it driving a little better, still loose. But crew done a good job. You know, they've been practicing all week. And I watched them practice there the other day, knock off some 11s. And done a good job. So was real good in race trim, Dave. We just can't get qualifying down. So it's a long race here next week, so it don't matter where you start.
And a problem perhaps on Rusty's car. The lug nuts have to be in contact with the wheel, and we're told that they may have missed one.
They have one lug nut problem. It was on the left rear where we saw a little bit of a problem, so that will be a 5-second penalty. 5 seconds added to Rusty's base time. There you see it right there. Maybe that's why Billy Wilburn threw his stopwatches.
So that'll knock Rusty from the pole. Joe Nemechek, you saw his mom Martha looking on.
Just 5-5, buddy. 29-28, buddy. Good lap.
That is a good first lap. 29-28. That's as quick as we've seen anybody run.
Peter Suspenzo is crew chief. Nemechek, the final qualifier for the Winston when he won 2 weeks ago at Richmond.
And I'm going to tell you what, he was pretty good on that pit road entrance, 92 miles per hour.
Hit your mark, buddy. Hit your mark.
There's his number 1 fan.
I guarantee you that's the number 1 fan. These guys can have a good stop and Joe can get off pit road. He could be potential here.
Like the way he got in the box.
Rusty ended up 9th, went from 1st to 9th with that 5-second penalty.
All right, there you see a tire. It was just about to get away. Not a very good stop, though, Jeff Hammond.
Larry, a lot of trouble on the right side of the car. The right rear guy, very slow coming around, and even when he got back around to the left side, he still didn't have his act together. Missed the nuts nuts quite a few times. I mean, there's only 5 over there, and if I didn't know any better, I would swear there's about 50.
I'm going to tell you what, though, Jeff, 120 miles per hour leaving, that's pretty good. That's only 1 mile per hour off Kevin Harvick. The difference right here could be that pit stop.
Yeah, well, he was good coming in. He's had good lap speeds. I don't know if it's enough to make up for what they lost in the pits, though.
I can't remember a qualifying for this race where so many drivers have had problems. And Nemechek will be 4th.
Got so many rules. The more rules you make, the more problems you have.
Good point. Matt?
Well, last year, Rusty Wallace came off the track second quick and then had a loose lug nut and a penalty. This year, he came off the track on the pole, same thing.
Oh, man, the car was fast. We got down pit road good, and the pit stop was real fast. Everything was spot on, and I said, man, I saw the name pop to the pop there when I went across the line. I said, okay, this is cool. I never dreamed we have a loose lug nut. And guys just don't leave the lug nuts loose, and that's too bad. And when they said we had a penalty, I said, oh, man, I must have been too hot getting in, but it's a team thing, and the team, to me, is like the Union 76 pit stop contest. We know we got great guys, and if they make one tiny mistake, they look bad, and it messes the whole team. So I kind of like this format. I kind of don't for the team guys, because if they screw up, they're in big trouble for everybody. But we got a good car. It looks really good. It's black. It's hot looking. Got a new Goo Goo Dow paint scheme on it for the Winston, and good performance. Just a loose lug nut. That's it.
And I'm going to tell you what, you always hear Rusty Wallace talking about what kind of motor he has in his hot rod. Jeff Hammond and I were over at that Penske Jasper engine shop on Tuesday. 42 full-time employees at that engine shop. Phenomenal operation.
Saw that lug nut there, just not all the way up against the wheel, Steve.
Check in with Peter Suspenzo real quick. Peter, tell us about your effort.
I'm real happy with it. Guys did a good job preparing the car. We were a little bit off in practice, but we worked on it and got a lot better. And I think he's got a pretty good lap as far as the time lap on a racetrack. Everything went good. A little bit slow on the pit stop. I think the right rear had a little bit of problem, but they made up good time coming back around, and we'll see where we end up. We're looking forward to tomorrow night.
Back upstairs.
Joe Nemechek is 4th right now. Like Rusty Wallace, Ricky Rudd will be in the Winston for the 17th time. Best qualifying effort. Best qualifying effort 6th in 94 and 95. The year he finished 3rd. His best effort.
There you see Pat Tryson, his crew chief. Of course, gosh, when you think about pit stops, what do you think about back in the older era, the Wood brothers? I mean, they took pit stops to a new level many years ago, didn't they, Darrell?
They really did, and we've all learned a lot from them and improved upon it.
Not only in NASCAR, but Ford brought them to Indianapolis
39,
in the 500, where they revolutionized pit stops there.
Yes, sir.
There you see 91 miles per hour. That's 10 miles per hour quicker than Kevin Harvick. There you hear Pat Tryson counting down to his pit box.
A little slow in, do you think?
Yeah, several guys have had trouble. I think it's because they don't have a stop sign out there. They're coming in on the crew itself.
We hear the speed was clean. This is going to be an awfully slow pit stop, though, for the Wood brothers racing. Yeah, way off. A lot of trouble on the left front. 17.6.
But even so, if they're clean, that's going to put Ricky Rudd in the middle of the field.
Yeah, because now Rusty went from first. He's now 10th quickest with that 5-second penalty on the lug nut. 121 miles per hour, so Ricky did a pretty good job getting on and off pit road. That tells the tale right there.
Pat Tryson not pleased. We'll come back, give you Ricky Rudd's time as qualifying continues for the Winston.